Hey, I want to welcome you guys to this edition of Woodcarvers Corner. I want to thank you for tuning into our channel. Recently, I had this discussion with some of my friends that they had some small carvings that they wanted to reproduce into other mediums, resins, plastics, this, that, and the other. So I thought, well, it'd be a good thing to do a film on. So I've got a mold here that I've been preparing this morning. Let me just show you what I got going here. I chose a little flying into the sun eagle. And this was out of like an inch and a quarter thick piece of basswood. And the reason I chose it, it won't take much material to pour it. And I have to cover it in this. You notice I made this custom box. It's an old shoe box. And I tried to get it as close to the carving as I could all the way around. I even went in and glued this. I tell you what I found worked best to put something like this together is I had a hot glue gun out there. And man, hot glue, you can just put it in there, kind of weld the corners and this, that, and the other. It's good and sturdy. And so notice how I dammed this corner off because I wasn't sure how much material that I had. And I have to be able to cover this, maybe even a quarter inch thicker over the carving as I pour it. I also put a couple of screws in the back here to hold it down, you guys, because I have had problems. If you go to pouring the rubber over the top of this stuff, that your carving will float up out of the rubber. So I find it best to secure it with something. But what we're going to do here in a minute, we're going to go out in on the porch. This says it's non-toxic and everything, but I did read the sheet that said it's best to do it where it's good ventilation. Well, I tell you what we're going to do, guys. I got my mold ready. And we're going to go out here on the porch. I got this pan ready. And I'm hoping that this pan will hold both of these. I think it will. It looks big enough. We're going to mix up our rubber, and then we're actually just slowly going to pour it, and hopefully we got enough of this rubber to cover up our eagle with. So we're headed out to the porch. So I got my guy here. I got my mold release on it. I sprayed a little mold release that I had on here, and I even sprayed my cardboard box around the edges and stuff. We'll see what happens here, you guys. I don't know exactly the volume of how much it's going to take to fill over my mold here or over my carving. So what I've decided to do, I told you this kit cost about $34. So I'm going to spend the whole $34. In other words, I'm hoping two things. I'm hoping that these will fit in here. Ooh, after dumping this in here, I sure hope we got enough to get over top of our carving, because that's a lot of surface to have to cover. I guess there's only one way to find out. Should have got the gallon kit. Huh? All right. So we're going to just dump them in together. They're a part A, part B type stuff. So they should be about the same amount in these two things. And I'm going to dump all the ingredients in there. And I'll begin to stir it. I had plans of just pouring the background and then pouring up and over it. But now that I see that I may not have enough material to fill my whole area, I may actually slowly pour over the eagle first and end up with more of a brush on type situation. You guys have probably done this when you're experimenting with certain things like this, where you're not sure how it's all going to go. So sometimes you just have to improvise the best that you can. So I got our rubber pretty well mixed up here. There's a little more in each one of these bottles, which, you know what, I'm going to put the lids on and turn them upside down over here. I'm seeing right now by me moving real quick in this rubber that I'm capturing some air bubbles in the rubber. Might be wise for me to stir at the end real slow and to bounce the bubbles. Sometimes if you blow on the bubbles, it'll help pop them. Now, like I said, I was planning on pouring the background first, you guys, but I'm not sure of how much stuff I have. Now, I probably should be pouring a little slower to not try to capture any air bubbles. Now, right there where that it goes behind that eagle foot, that may become a problem when I get ready to pull the mold. I could have filled the corners of this box with some clay. Looks like we're just barely going to have enough to get what we need here, but then what I may have to do is sit here and babysit it and pull it up over the mold good, or over our carving good. Now that I've realized that I'm not got enough to fill over my thing with, but I'm going to get something heavy. It sounds goofy, but I'm going to place a rock in this corner to help raise my level up. So you see what's happened here is I didn't have quite enough volume of stuff to cover up my carving real well. There's a thin film of the rubber already forming over the carving, so I'm pretty sure in the 30 minutes of setup time, I can pull enough up and over. You might have noticed that I put a couple pieces of rock or marble in the edges of the mold where it didn't matter to help bring the volume up. But one of the things that I did learn here, you guys, is I'm leaking my molding rubber over into this corner. And it's because when I was building my box mold, I should have spent more time with the hot glue gun welding the corners, because now it's leaking out a couple of places. Not very much, but it is. I'm going to let this cure for a little bit, and then I'm going to bring it up and over my carving. And then what I can do once I do get it out of there, the rubber gets hard and everything, I can trim it down and make a mother mold out of some hydrocal, plaster of Paris type stuff to help make the mold a little more secure when we're pouring it from the other side. I would like to be bouncing this mold, but since it's already leaking here and there, I thought it wouldn't be real smart to go bouncing around on it because I might open it up. So slowly here, and it's starting to solidify up pretty good now. See that? I think I'll take my spatula back after it. Yeah, it's starting. Maybe one of them deals, if you're going to get her done, you better get her done, you know. So I'm going to pull the rubber up and over the carving. Got to admit, you guys, this stuff's solidifying way quicker than I thought it would. I figured we'd be here for the full 30 minutes of this, but I can see right now that, man, this stuff, once it starts drying up, or solidifying, I should say, it really does it pretty darn quick. So I'm trying to get at least a good 1/4 inch of rubber over top of my carving here. Now I am capturing a few air bubbles, but I don't think they're down against my carving. I've cast all sorts of stuff over the years, but I have not used this particular product before. This is a Smooth On product. It's made by Smooth On. Yeah, Smooth On. Now, Polytech, which is on the bottom of this can, is the product that I was using on a lot of the other molds that I've done. Basically the same thing, except I was using what they call a polyurethane rubber for a long time. But what I did find out, you guys, about a polyurethane rubber is it doesn't seem to, as a mold, it doesn't seem to last as well as this. This is a silicone rubber that I'm using right now. We're looking okay here. I'm going to let this stuff set up for another, let's say 5-6 minutes, and I'm going to pull it up over the wood carving one more time because, see, I'm covered pretty good all out and through here, but on the tip of this wing, I still see just a hint of the wood carving. But I'm going to give this 5 more minutes or so, and then I'm going to pull it up over that carving one more time, and we're going to let her dry and see what we got.